Jimmy Kimmel's live from his house with Mandy Moore.
Oh my gosh. You guys wait, I'm watching. Hi! I'm watching the trailer for next week's episode first. Ooh. Guys, the trailer for next week looks so good too! Just so everyone knows, I love watching the trailers for the next week's episode. But yeah, that was How did you guys like the episode? What are your guys' thoughts? I'm about to bring on Pete, our director of the episode. He can kind of address some other questions and thoughts you guys might have. That was amazing. I'm glad you guys liked it. I tried to be like right on top of like right when the episode ended because I feel like all the emotions from everything are still kind of going, even in me. I feel really hyped up by the episode right when it's done airing. I love you guys all too. I'm going to see if Pete is on right now, see if I can get him. Let's make sure I don't have any technical difficulties. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Okay. I don't see. There's a lot of F words happening. That was intense. The trailer for the next episode was awesome. It looked intense. Oh my God. You're crying. I'm sorry you're crying. Our show does that. It makes me cry too. That was awesome. I loved watching that episode. Okay, I'm gonna try to find Pete. Oh, there he is. Okay, everyone, here's Pete. Let's see if he's on. Hi, Pete. Hi, Kelly.
What up?
Hello.
What up?
How are you guys?
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, me too. I thought I was gonna hide it.
I
What do you guys drink?
that.
Thank you. Have you not seen it?
No, I have not seen it. When did you do that? That's a big
Right.
shot.
Yeah, chop. Right after we wrapped and then dyed it dark brown.
Yeah.
And then went into quarantine, so it's been no one's seen it.
How long were you waiting before you were you like, I'm gonna do this the minute the show's over shooting?
I'd been thinking about it for a while, and then I was like, oh, this is happening. Yeah, I just did it. It happened. But thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. How are you guys doing? How is your quarantine going?
You know, all things considered, it's a weird time in a weird world, and you know, we are blessed to be healthy, and we're doing all right. We just had a terrific little dinner.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We learned we can cook.
Yeah, that's what we found out.
You just discovered that?
We never really gave ourselves a chance.
Yeah, it wasn't like why cook when you could just go to a restaurant? But,
Well, and let's be honest, you both have extremely busy lifestyles. So
Why cook when there's craft services?
well, yeah.
You know.
That is one of our biggest issues, I feel like, on set. I get so reliant on that, and then we're done filming, and I'm like, how do I eat?
Exactly. We're finding out, like, our grocery bills are like, oh, wow, this is how much food costs.
yeah.
This is privileged thing, like, perspective. But it's true. It's like, you know, we don't buy groceries because they just go bad if we're at work all day long, you know?
Same thing. When you're actually in the season of filming, you can't buy groceries or they go bad. Unless you're like, it's something to snack on, or unless it's like something in a box or a bag, which usually isn't good for you anyways.
Right.
Exactly. So this has been really, I mean, at first, I just realized too, that for me, and maybe for you too, but like, I was already preparing for a time like this, you know, time, and because we had our hiatuses coming up, and obviously it'd be wonderful to work and do a lot of things, but we didn't have our regular work schedules to look forward to. So I think that there was an additional I guess I was just additionally fortunate to not have to be. It didn't come as quite a shock to my system as it might have to many other people. And I realize that now, the further we get into it, I was like, oh yeah, I was cooking because I thought I was on vacation. This ain't vacation.
No.
This ain't been vacation for most folks. Right. So
no, unfortunately. But yeah, it was, I mean, there is that blessing that we kind of were all prepared. I mean, you guys got cut a little bit short.
We got
cut. I remember. But
Yes.
we all, like, when the end of the season is coming, you do kind of are revved up to be like, okay, I can't wait to sleep. I can't wait to, like, catch up on some movies I haven't seen. And so we were all, yeah, I mean, it's been much longer than I expected to be sitting around watching movies and sleeping in. But yeah, I'm blessed to have it much better than yeah.
Yeah. Are you here in LA?
I am here in LA, which the weather's been great lately, which is also a blessing. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It has. I was talking to people in Chicago a week ago, and they're like, I just wanted to warm up.
Oh my God, yeah. But you know, the danger of the warming up though is that people want to go outside. I feel like it's been such a, you know, like that's only natural. You cannot fault folks for that. But I think it really helps to have it, you know, to be under circumstances where you didn't need to get outside because it wasn't too hot in your home or whatever. And
that's true. Oh no, you're frozen.
You know, without too many distractions. But the sunshine is a distraction.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, it's tempting.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to segue into the episode that just aired. Did you guys get to watch it?
No, we literally just finished eating at.
Did I completely interrupt your dinner?
No, it was perfectly planned.
Oh no, yeah.
It was like perfectly planned to end at that point. So I'm gonna watch the West Coast feed. But did you watch?
I did.
How'd you feel?
I loved it. I was revved up. Our episodes always have this ability. I mean, I think it's Shondaland in general, the ability to do this, but you executed it so well in the emotion of all the different characters, and the Emma who played Rachel did such a beautiful job.
Yeah.
The stuff inside the arcade with the kids, and I remember because I shadowed you a little bit during this process, and to kind of see everything kind of become executed. And what was so great, I just put it out there about your directing style, is that you just knew when you got something, you got it. You were like, yeah, we're good, moving on, and you did. I mean, it showed like the scenes, you got all the pieces you needed. And I personally was excited to see that. I was excited, like, it's just, you're very decisive and have a lot of confidence. And it was great to see that in action and then to see it after in the editing process.
No, well, I appreciate that. You guys made my job easy. It was nice to be on a show where you could tell people actually like each other. Because
we like each other? No.
That is not a requirement.
Sadly.
It was cool too because, you know, I know you were in the midst of pre-production and developing your film, and I'm sure that's going to go forward to get out of here. But I think it's always an attention to detail thing, and not to bore people who don't really care about that and they just want to watch.
People do. There's a lot of like people that love this stuff.
Yeah. But it's really just about like getting in there and being like sure of what the show needs, what the showrunner needs, and then what the characters want and need, and then just trying to like get it as quick as possible, but have a point of view. There are a couple shots that I'm looking forward to seeing if they use them or how much. There's a shot that we did that I really liked, but I know that I was probably pushing the ticking clock, and it was when you walk up to, you're walking toward the building, looking up at the fire coming up because you know that something's happened. Because I know not everybody's watching, so you know that something's happened to the building.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I travel with you like this, and then I come around to the back of you, and then look up at the event. And it's a little bit of a longer shot for broadcast, so I don't know if it out or not, because even the editor tried to cut it out, and I was like, no, let it breathe, because it felt like a nice moment for after everything going on between your character and Emma's character, and then Lachlan's character, you know, not wanting to go in. I wanted there to be an emphasis on the impact of what's happening to your fellow firefighters inside.
I think you definitely accomplished that. I'm trying to remember how much they go around. They definitely use the shot. I'm trying to remember how much they use of it. Personally, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I felt like they avoided some shots because of visual effects. And that is absolutely a speculation.
Right.
But I felt like there were some that were missed or kind of because they were just avoiding having to do with VFX. But that's just complete speculation, and I have no standing.
You never know. I know it. I know there were a lot of effects and dealing with the location, and I can't wait to see that, because for anybody like on the thread right now, there was no fire in that location. There was not one burning ember of fire. It was all lighting and then layer, effects on top of the haze and the smoke to make it feel like a real fire. And so I'm really interested in that, because that kind of.
Well, I can tell you fans absolutely loved it, and full on went with the emotions of the crying and the happy and the like fresh. And what's crazy is how do you as a director, and I don't realize this sometimes, because, and maybe Kelly, you can attest to this too, when you're reading a script, you read it as a whole, but then you break down what you need to do and what your character needs to do. But in our show specifically, and I don't know if Grace is like this too, but on Station 18, there's so much going on. How do you make sure that you make all that clear and yet still tie it together? Because you were able to do that, and there was still so much going on. And Kelly, do you feel the same from an actor's perspective?
I mean, we make a joke on my show. I don't know if this is an industry thing, but I definitely learned it on Grace, where like when we get a script and, we're just sitting, we get a script, we make a joke, we'll flip through it, we'll go bullshit, like my line, bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Like, of course we're joking, but it's true. It's a lot on track, and then but our job is to be responsible for the arc of our character, and so that's what we're focused on primarily, not to the exclusion of everything else, but that's where you put your first and the majority of your attention. But I can answer repeat spreadsheets. Is how he figures it out. Please take it away.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's like I read.
I saw one of those spreadsheets.
I have a little OCD.
Love it.
But I look at a scene and I say, okay, like what's happening for the character? What does Maya want? What does Karina want? What does her mom want? All these things. But then it's like, well, or what does Jack want? What does Herrera want? And on that scene, actually, when they are working on a fire truck, it was apparent to me that there's a little humor there. So there's like little things where I'm like, let's get a flashlight, and you help her, and you shine a flashlight on the work that she's doing. But then when she hits you with the zinger, and you're kind of like getting the gut punch, drop the flashlight, just to give you a little bit more humor.
So this was all just something that you added to it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I wasn't there that day. Okay.
One thing that I feel like, living and working with Pete has taught me is to identify, I feel like what I've learned is that like one of the director's primary jobs is to really understand tone and style in a way that sometimes an actor, of course we need tone and style as we approach our own work, but the director being responsible for the whole picture, the tone and style of the thing overall, got to have an even more kind eye for it, and be looking for the ways to apply the principles of dramedy in the case of Grey's Anatomy, or action and drama and a little comedy in the case of your show. Being able to apply those, the cues of those genres to every moment, within the thing. We don't have to be responsible for every moment. That's his,
Yes. And it's a lot to come in as somebody that's never been on the show before and just take on that job. On top of the fact that, like, you're across the board. Like, you do everything, Pete. Just so people know, like, if you want to announce some of the other things you've done, like, you've done comedy, drama, action, like you've done it all. So you really have a wide range of understanding of being able to accomplish those tones of different genre shows.
Yeah. But that's the fun part, right? Like your character arc, you have the stuff in the flashbacks, which is like a different iteration of Maya, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the present day stuff with Catherine, and then you've got the dynamic between you and Herrera, and then you got the dynamic between you and Lachlan. I'm messing up people's real names and
No,
too many shows.
No, it's funny. I
It's
was
a good problem to have.
I was talking to somebody. I was like, you work with my really good friend, and then I'm like, and they're like, you're a really good friend, huh? I'm like,
It makes me feel good because I do that a lot too, and I'm always like, this makes me look so bad. I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
And then actually, I did that on a Zoom yesterday. I was like, nah, like my friend on it's a Wi-Fi book, and she was like, do you mean that guy? I was like,
Yep. Sorry.
But yeah,
It
no,
happens.
it's hard.
When you first read a script, Pete, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, is it the action? Is it the visuals? Is it how you want to go about doing it? Like, what first thing happens? Like, what happens?
I try and read it as if I'm somebody who really loves the show, or just like a random, like if whether I like the show or I just turned the channel and watched and fell into the show, I'm just trying to read it as an audience member, because I feel like that is helpful in me understanding what they're trying to do and how they want those people to feel. And then I go back and read it again as all of the different people that I collaborate with. So I do a read where I think about what I would need to shoot it. I do a read where I think about what I need for like wardrobe. I do a read where I think about like how many background people we need coming out of this burning down building and what ages and all that. And then after all of that, I feel I've done enough work to deserve to think about it how you guys think about it as actors. And I'll think about it like, okay, what's happening emotionally here? And then I'll kind of track each character, how they enter the scene, how they're trying to get. And if it's a good scene, then there's a little bit of this going on. And then from there, I'll start blocking and thinking about where I think people will be, where they'll stand, how to move through the scene, all designed to underline what is happening. So like even take the first scene in the barn. They have you, I think you have the first line, oh my God, right?
Yes. Yep.
And you kind of fall out of the scene after that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start on you to give you the first moment because I saw the way it was written. I didn't want you to get lost, so I wanted to introduce you. And then I also knew that Gray Damon's character didn't have any lines for like half a page.
Yeah.
So I had him come from the refrigerator into the middle of the scene because there was no point for him to just stand there while everybody was talking about the calendar.
So you see,
and then I brought everybody over toward that area because I knew that Boris and Jason would need to go over toward the coffee machine. So it's a big dance of like trying to move people through the space, conserve the real estate, keep it visually interesting, and have like a style that underlines the emotional elements of the scene.
Just to point out to people that are listening is that you do that very effortlessly because a lot of time you come to set and actors have a very strong opinion about where they want to stand or what they want to do. And you obviously thought that out so well, but it felt like it was so effortless. Like on the day it made us feel like, you made us feel like those were kind of our ideas. I'm just going to point that out because I remember rehearsing that scene and kind of being like, oh yeah, no, we'll do this. And you're like, yeah, great idea. And like, you had that in your head already.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's that Jedi mind trick.
Seriously. Like every actor, even where Gray was and stuff, like you knew, but I remember people saying like that they liked the position they were in and like they thought they would be here. And in your head the entire time you're like, yeah, no, I knew you were gonna be there.
But then I also was ready. I'm no genius, so I know like if it bumps you or you have another idea, like I can adapt to what works for you, and then I can shoot it in the way that gets what I thought the scene needed to do. So it's a really good collaborative job in all honesty.
Which is what I feel like it always has to be, but it's great that you have you're very effortless, Pete, about what you do, and you're very decisive about what you know you want. So it's very interesting and great to watch you work.
You guys really help that, and like it's You know, I was interested in seeing how you felt about it because I felt like in every take and in every scene, you wanted to do so well that sometimes, and that's a good thing, that it seemed like it seemed like you never felt like you had done as well as you could do. And I was always like, no, I got it. Trust me. And it's in there. And so I hope when you watched it, you felt like whatever you were preparing for and designing is what happened, you know, in the final thing.
Thank you for saying that. I don't know, Kelly can attest to this. I'm never fully happy. I'm like the worst with the perfectionist actor brain of like always wanting my performance to be better and like thinking I could have done it differently. But I am authentically happy with like everything that Maya did this. Like the variation, I felt like the notes you gave added so many layers to what I was doing. Like that it helped. Like I'm very happy, which is hard for me to say with my performance for this episode. So I am happy.
Oh, wow.
With the perfectionist that'll always be like, like, yeah, all the stuff. And it was such an array, like from the sexy scene that starts off the episode after the calendar stuff with me and Stefania to like
which was the first thing we shot.
Yeah.
I think that was literally the first scene that we shot.
Yep. Yeah.
And hot.
It was. Fans loved it. It was very hot. And then Maya starts getting angry. It was all that hotness. It was a hot-tempered hothead.
Wait,
this was awesome.
We just have somebody else who's decided to come in here.
Join us.
Who's this?
This is Motown the dog.
What's boy or girl?
She's a girl.
She's a girl. What's her name?
Her name is Motown.
Motown?
Yeah, and she's very, very sweet. She's very emotional doggy. And today she has a little separation anxiety, so we made her be by herself today, and she's been very, very, very clingy ever since. So, hence the visit.
How old is Motown?
She's almost a year.
Almost a year, yeah.
She did the baby.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And separation anxiety. So during quarantine, you had to put her somewhere else so that she could basically have that structure?
Well, no, she's just getting so clingy because of quarantine that now, like, we can't do nothing. She's following us everywhere.
Yeah. She started talking.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if anything, this is a, baby reminder, I guess, right?
Exactly.
It's a good puppy.
Well, I'm excited for you to see the episode.
Me too.
I'm excited to hear what you have to think. I would love to touch base after, just like personally, and see what all the thoughts you had, and to know that like most fans don't know that you don't have, which sucks, like the final say, which is crazy.
Right.
When I discovered that in television, that it's you deliver your cut, and then the final cut you see when it airs is what airs, and that blows my mind. So I'm really interested to see what you think of what the final one was.
We will talk.
Yes, I would love that.
And I know I like it. If I do my job right, I've studied the show. I've looked at as many episodes as I can, and I'm going to try and do what the show does, but with my own kind of little sprinkling of perspective on it. And that means that
Shouldn't be too many surprises. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'm excited. We'll definitely talk about it after. This has been awesome.
Yes,
Getting to catch up with you guys. Thank you for doing it.
Good to see your beautiful face, Mama.
Good to see your guys' beautiful faces and to talk about all this. And thanks for not making me feel bad about my drink.
I'm about to refill mine.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, I needed to drink it more. Okay, we'll talk soon. Have a great rest of your night and have fun. You're also, just so fans know, you're going on another live, right?
At 10 Pacific after the West Coast feed with Jaina.
Perfect. So everyone knows you can go there and ask more questions and get more answers and stuff. And I'll tune into that.
Cool.
Have a good night, you guys.
Bye, you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, guys. That was awesome. I don't even know if I did a good job of announcing Pete and Kelly. Pete was the director of our episode. I'm realizing it. I'm getting a flood of things. Of course, that always happens. The second you finish something, you obviously remember things. So Kelly and Pete, if you're still on, I didn't feel really like I feel like I really even introduced you guys at all. So that was Kelly McCreary from Grey's Anatomy. For those of you that don't know, but I'm pretty sure almost everyone should. And that was Pete Chapman, the director of our episode. They are married in real life. So I got to talk with them about the episode tonight. I'm sorry I didn't get to any questions. I felt like there was just a ton of going back about talking about the episode and what we were going through. So I hope you guys liked it that way. It's always trying to figure out a balance of like what works and what doesn't for Instagram lives. But okay, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm gonna now bring on Emma, who played Rachel on the episode. At the bowling, she worked at the bowling alley, and her grandfather passed away. So I wanted to bring her on. I'm gonna quickly check on. Let's just see on any questions or anything that might have come through that I need to address real quickly. I will get to those after. Emma, I see you. You're on here. I'm gonna bring you on right now. Oh, and just before I bring on Emma, any questions that you might have for Pete, please let me know. Maybe I'll do a follow-up with Pete if there's a significant amount of questions about tonight's episode. So I know that we have some filmmakers on here that are probably interested. So if you do have any specific questions or any stuff that you specifically want to ask, maybe I'll compile the questions and do like a separate one with Pete on a different day, because he really is an amazing director. We're so lucky on our show to have such great directors, but Pete really is amazing from an actor's perspective to work with and then to watch the episode tonight. Yeah, so anyways, let's bring on Emma. Wait, how do I get to, here we go. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Oh no, you're frozen.
You froze.
Same.
Hi.
Hi.
Hold on,
Can
I
you
think
see
our
me?
Wi-Fi is bad. Here.
Is your Wi-Fi bad there?
Upstairs.
I was like, wait, what? The thingy's just spinning. You guys, this is Emma. If you can hear me right now. Emma, are you there? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear her? Can you guys see anything? And what I'm seeing is what you're seeing? Emma, I lost Emma because of connection. Let's see if I can get her back on. Oh, hi, I'm back. She said, hi, I'm back. Okay, I'm bringing on Emma, who played Rachel in tonight's episode. The anticipation.
Hey.
Hi.
You
Sorry,
know,
that's one of
Wi-Fi.
the issues is always going to be something technical. So many times
Always.
I've done this and I'm like, no.
Okay, we should be good. Sorry about that.
Okay, now I learned from my last one, because I didn't introduce Pete or Kelly at all when I started, is please introduce yourself, who you are, and who you played on tonight's episode.
Okay, hi, I'm Emma Furman. I played Rachel on tonight's episode. I was the one who sadly lost their grandfather. Yeah, that's my short little bio.
It's perfect. And you currently are in Middle America, right? Are you in Texas?
I'm in Texas, so I actually got to watch with the East Coast.
And what did you think of the episode? How do you feel about your performance? Like the whole
It was
thing.
so good. I had no idea that you had such a heavy episode. Like, dang girl, you did so good.
Thanks. You just saw all that yelling at you. I remember during the
I know,
videos,
that's all I knew.
sorry.
I had no idea you got to yell at everybody else too.
Yeah, so much yelling going on. You, by the way, I have to say, just for everyone listening, like your crying scenes are so beautiful and so it's a hard thing to do. I mean, as an actor, it's a range of emotions that we have to portray, and you know, crying, I would say, is always one of those ones that's really hard to do. And I remember coming to set and knowing you had to cry, and then having to make sure that they gave you enough prep time to get there. But you got there every time, and it was so beautiful.
She was so amazing. She was like my mama on set, like making sure that everything was okay. They knew to come to me to give me the heads up of when I needed to like turn on the emotion. I was so grateful. This was actually my first time to work as a full adult alone, like no mom on set.
Wait,
and
what?
So, yeah, so I really, it really meant so much that you did that for me. I don't even think you knew that. So that's
I
why
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember that for myself when that happened. I remember like the first project I ever did without having to have an adult, like my parent or guardian on set.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary. That's intimidating.
It is. I was like, no one to hold my stuff or take pictures for me. I was all on my own. That's what I was worried about, obviously.
That's funny. It is. You do kind of lose your glorified assistant when your guardian or parent.
Yeah, it's real.
That's I mean, I love that, and I love that I did kind of take you. It felt like the second I saw you on set, I was like, I'm taking this girl under my wing. Let's do this.
Yes, definitely.
And I felt like we kind of got to bond over that. But what
we
you did was
bonded
amazing.
Over emotion and our love of chocolate, and it was great. Yeah.
I mean, I get worried. You know, there's like that saying that Bill Murray always has, like people that don't like dogs weird him out. Is I think something along the lines of the same. Like I'm weirded out by people that don't like chocolate. You're right. We definitely bonded over.
Hey, I don't understand how you could not like chocolate.
It's so weird.
I don't know if you remember, but on set, me and Lachlan kept talking about, like, we knew each other. We were like, where do you live? Like, what gym do you go to? Because I know you somehow. And literally tonight, it came to me as I was watching the episode. So a few months back, I think August, we went to, I went to the Holly Rod Foundation. They were putting on a gala. And I sat next to this handsome Australian dude, and we started chatting it up. Who would have known that like 6 months later we would have been working on the same show? And so I'll have to DM him and tell him I figured it out because I said I would, because I like knew there was just some sort of connection there. And so yeah, that's my little.
Isn't that always funny how that happens though? And it's so crazy in a city like LA that something like that would happen too.
It is such a small world, like it really is.
Yeah, it creeps me out every time something. Yes, but you have to tell him. Because he'll love that, and he'll then talk your ear off probably about that night or whatever.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll definitely tell
him. Okay, what else about the episode I can think of? Did you watch Station 19 prior to being on it? And you don't have to say
I had
okay.
2 episodes. Yeah, so I was familiar with the characters, but I did a little more like digging and research when I was like auditioning, so I understood who I was talking to and stuff like that. So that's why when I was auditioning, I couldn't figure out who one of these characters was because Lachlan hadn't been announced yet. So I was like, am I crazy? Are these fake sides? Like, who am I reading with?
Did you have the real sides?
So I had semi-real sides. So I'm pretty sure my audition scenes were I was at a shopping mall and we were eating hibachi and the hibachi exploded. Like
that would have been an awesome episode too.
I know, it would have been great. So that's what I thought was going to happen. And then when I read the actual script, I was like, oh, I didn't know those were fake sides at all. So
it is funny though, like people don't realize that a lot of times even for our show, like the sides are fake. Like my sides were kind of all twisted from my audition too, like what was, or they're the same words but different scenarios and different names and stuff like that. So people don't realize that, and that's interesting. But for your situation, I'd be interested to ask the writers if that was an actual storyline that they then
they changed,
or if those were just fake sides. Sometimes I just don't know.
Yeah, well, if you
which way it is.
I'm curious to know.
Did you have to get emotional and do one of the emotional scenes in your audition?
Yeah, I did. I think I had like 2 audition scenes, and then I had like 3 scenes that we actually filmed, which I don't. Have you watched the episode yet?
Yes, I watched it.
So, something I noticed was that we had a scene at the ambulance, and then we had a scene like by that brick wall where you like yell at me, and those scenes were like super alike. Like basically, you yell at me at the ambulance and make me cry, and then you yell at me out by the wall and make me cry again. And they actually got rid of the one at the ambulance, I think, because they were so similar. It's like basically
is that what it was?
Bully. Yeah.
Okay, but it is complete. It was gone, right? It wasn't there at all.
No.
Okay, because someone else was watching it with me, and I was like, did I just blink and miss it? Because I was on Twitter too.
Right,
And someone's like, no, it was like there, but it was like a split second. So you're confirming that like that scene by the ambulance is gone.
Right.
Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna tell my friend that told me the opposite and be like, no, it wasn't there. Because it was such a buildup of like so much anger and yelling at you that it was interesting to see. It was gonna be interesting to see how it played out. But because now that you've probably seen that I was yelling at everyone, that was just another scene of me. Because that was a rough one too. I yell at you.
Yep. And I remember we talked to Pete about how can we make these two almost identical scenes different, like how can we, and even like if by the wall, if you, instead of like getting in my face and screaming, if you got in my face and you were like, they're living people in there, you know, like what, like how we could do to like switch it up and make it like go on another level. And so obviously the editors chose something different, but
which is interesting because I was talking to him earlier too, is like I wonder what his cut version was versus what aired, because it's not always the same. But it was hard to always I gave variation, but it did somewhat feel like a lot of Maya's yelling is just all yelling at the same level the entire time. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The good thing is that you were incredible off screen, so you totally made up for it. You were so sweet, so it was good.
No, we had a good time. We had a very good time. And then I think there was another question. So your audition process, and then I can't believe this was your first. I cannot believe this was your first episode without a guardian on set.
Yeah, I know. Big girl pants on now.
That's amazing. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie. The first time mine was a little different because it was a film and it was in another state.
Oh yeah.
And I was literally so scared and nervous.
It was truly like magical. It was so meant to be, because I walked on set and like everyone was so nice and welcoming, and like that's not to say people aren't always nice, but like I was to the point like, wait, why are they being so nice to me? Like, what's happening? So it was so helpful that because, you know, when you're a guest star, you don't really know the dynamic. Like, you're being thrown into the middle of a shoot, and you don't know if people are going to be, like, super into it. You don't know if they're going to be super friendly. So you just try and stay out of everybody's way. But you guys were like, so, like, where are you from? Like, just talking to me. And I was like, okay. Like, this is good. And so it was, like, really just eased me into being a grown-up, I guess.
Good. I mean, I'm happy that we didn't know, and that we still that you still felt that way on our set. It's something I think our show and our cast really prides ourselves on, is like we all love our job and love being on set and really get along with each other. That like we get told this same kind of story from directors that come to sets, actors come to sets, that like they really enjoy being with our show and our families.
I can totally tell. Everyone is grateful for their job and loves each other. The chemistry is real, because, you know, some people don't get along off screen, but no way, you guys are like this behind.
Yeah, it feels good. And now it makes me think that people need to question when people don't talk about like casts that get along. It's, you know what I mean? No one's going to sit around and talk about the casts that don't get along, which are a lot of them. But yeah.
You might be on something there.
Yeah. I think that's usually what it is. So how are you spending quarantine?
I've been doing a lot of baking.
Okay, I think I saw one of your videos. How is that going?
I've been doing weekly Eating with Emma videos where I try to make something that's super simple or relatively simple, and you should have most of the ingredients already at home with you. And instead of just like listing out what to do and showing the finished product, like I take you along the chaotic ride of me baking. So that's always fun. And what else have I been doing? I've been painting. I like to paint. I like to do little Bob Ross paintings and follow along with him. It's very therapeutic and calming. So I totally recommend that to anybody.
Okay.
Even if you don't have the supplies, I don't have like acrylic paint or anything like that. I have watercolor, and it works just fine. And it is amazing and so relaxing. I don't know. I just feel like I've been surprisingly busy during quarantine.
Which is good. That's very good.
Exactly. I'm not at that stage where I'm bored yet. I think Jay is on here.
Jay is on here. I just saw him say, he said, hey, everybody, he said something to you. He said, and I'm trying to find it, and you too, Emma. I think he meant like you being.
Oh, great work tonight. He said, great work tonight. Thank you, Jay. You too.
Aw. Jay's so sweet. Thanks, Jay. I love that. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Stay safe. That sounds like him signing off. He's like, and peace. That's interesting. I think I was talking to someone else about this. It might have been Lachlan. I can't remember who it was. That being an actor really preps you for something like unintentionally preps people for a quarantine type situation, because most of our job, when you're not a working actor and you're not making any money, you have to be very creative at staying at home.
Yep,
and
staying
using
busy.
your time and staying busy. And I think that's why so many actors like meditate or have certain hobbies, whether it's art, drawing, baking, cooking, something, or they get heavy into politics or something that they do, because we do have a lot of time. When if we're not working, we're at the you know, what is the word I'm trying to think of? What the word I'm trying to think of, Emma? We're at the
I'm trying to read your mind right now.
we're like, it's all up to the industry. It's up to our agents and our managers.
Right, it's out of our control. Yeah.
It's completely out of our control. So our job when we're not working is basically to learn how to be really good at not going crazy by sitting around.
Yes, yes.
So yeah.
And also actors have really tough skin. Like it's such a high rejection rate to get that one yes. So like actors are pretty tough people, I would say, even though tonight both of us were like screaming and crying on screen, but behind the stages we're pretty tough. We got to put up with a lot.
Yeah, I do. I laughed one time when someone was like, when I was first starting out and I was like booking a good amount of jobs and stuff all at the same time. And they were like, so like, how many auditions do you go on in a year? I'm like, I'm lucky if I book 1, 2, or 3 jobs. Three jobs in a year is like magical. And we go out on hundreds of auditions. Like especially when I was younger, I'm sure you felt the same way. My gosh, there was like 3, 4, 5, like you were going out on every cattle call that you could think of.
Yeah, on top of like commercial auditions or
that too.
Voiceover. Like I just got 4 voiceover auditions due Monday.
It's just never ending, and then
it's never ending.
The rejection rate is so high. Like you only get. I feel like you don't even get 1% of the ones you go out on. You get like
it's like when someone is actually working, it's a literal miracle. And I don't think people realize that. I think people think it's like pretty simple, like you walk in and it's like boom, but like it's pretty hard work, I would say.
I always like that thing that it's like success is when luck meets preparation. It's kind of like as actors we prepare as much as we can, and at the end of the day it's completely out of our control.
Or as Lady Gaga says, something like, you could be told no 99 times, you just need that one time. I don't know if you've seen that video of her. Like,
I haven't, but I'm going to search it now.
She says it in like every interview. She's like, it just takes one yes. And like, it's so true though.
It's so true. It's so true. But it does sometimes feel like that question of like, you know, do you feel like you're insane? Like you're just beating your head against the wall being like, eventually they'll say yes, right?
Yeah, I'm like, am I actually doing a good job? Like you start to doubt yourself too. You're like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm kind of good, but maybe I'm not so sure. And that's why you gotta always be practicing and working on your craft.
And working on the craft, which is so important. But you do start to feel crazy. And I feel like even for me, like every couple months, that's what I think a manager's job is. Like an agent's job is to get you the job and get you auditions. And my manager's job is just to make sure I don't quit.
No, I know. Managers are like therapists, honestly. I've definitely cried in my manager's office. I'm not.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep. All it takes is that one shot. Oh, it's so true. That's why I laugh when people are on here and they're like, not laugh, I should say, when people are like, I want to be an actress. How do I be an actress? And my gut is just like, don't do it. Just don't do it. You're going to like, it's so much rejection, but if you love it, if you love it and like, you can't deny that, like, you just have to do it.
I totally agree. I've always said, I don't think there's anybody in this industry that can do it without loving it because it is so hard. Yeah, what do you tell people who want to get into it? I always say like take some acting classes to see if like it's something you're actually like good at and can handle like that level of work and stuff. What do you say?
Very similar. I kind of like I start saying study your craft. That's a big part of it. Like read up on any book. I always believe like just reading on it really helps. Like whether that's reading Stanislavski or Strasberg or Stella Adler or any of the different techniques. if you have a community theater, I mean, luckily I was born outside the outskirts of LA, so I was close, but I'm like, go to a community theater, like you said, test it out, see if it's something that feels good to you, because you know, as an actor, when you are, you know, becoming a different character and saying the lines, if it's for you, it just feels right. Like there's nothing that beats the moment that they say action and cut. Like you can't even explain how amazing it feels, right? To just
Yeah. It's truly special, and it feels like it's over so fast too. Like I'll look back, like feel like that just went by like that, and it honestly just makes me more grateful, like being able to look back at what you've accomplished and the memories you've made, because it's just like, wow, you know, back to what we were saying. I can't believe I got that. Like
I can't.
It's like a battle to actually get a part. Like for Blended, this one right here, the director didn't like me, and so I flew out on my own dime from Texas, where I am.
No.
And I was like, please just see me. The casting director liked me, but the director was like, no. And so I was like, just see me at the end of the session. I sit in the waiting room for 4 hours, and they do chemistry reads with every other person, with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, and I'm still sitting there waiting. Adam and Drew leave. Everybody leaves, and I'm still sitting there waiting, and someone comes out and is like, hey, are you here to read? And I'm like, yeah. And I had no idea it was a chemistry read. Like, obviously, I wasn't a part of that. And they're like, let me go check on that. Turns out it was the producer of the film, and I got seen, and at the end of it, I was hugging it out with the director, and it was like, that was one of those moments that you just knew you had it in the bag, because I just had to, like, go in and, like, really sell it.
But you followed your gut. I mean, there's also elements like that. Like, I've had moments where I regret not following my gut, and other moments where I did, and stuff like that happened. But you followed your gut. Like, it's hard to hear that, like, a director, you're like, I'm not going to get it. What's the point? Like, how easy is it to just walk away and to just say he didn't want me, done and over with? Mm-hmm. And you never would have known. And instead, you took that leap and went there, and we're just like, and that is scary.
Yeah.
And you went there and you showed it, and you're like, no, I am right for this. And after an entire session, and like, for people that don't understand, it's grueling. Like, for them to sit there and watch person after person after person read the same scene over and over and over, and to have someone come in at the end and impress the hell out of you, which is what you obviously did. It just says so much. That is amazing.
Thanks. It's so rewarding. It's just like, it gives you hope to keep going, for sure, because there is so many, I call them like valleys.
Yeah.
Like you're that's why actors are so scared. Like, I feel like actors are pretty scared people, because you're at the top of that hill, and then you're like, okay, but what's my next job?
You have no idea.
Oh no. So,
and people think it's so easy. Like, they think, not easy, but like, I think people have this misconception that once you book something big, that you're gonna book something big again and again and again and again, and you're kind of put back into the mix. Like,
yeah, no, you got to go right back to almost to the beginning. You got one more thing on your resume, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's
daunting and it's scary
as well.
Yeah, I think, and the experiences matter, and obviously every job you get, you make more connections and you meet more people and you build up your resume and your kind of catalog of work. So it always helps, obviously. But it is that crazy thing that you kind of, I think Dustin Hoffman said it, like, he's constantly worried that this is his last job. Like, and it's Dustin Hoffman.
Sorry, my Mimi just tried to call. She probably watched the episode and wanted to see.
Who was it?
My Mimi, my sweet Mimi.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's what it was. I was like, wait, where'd she go? Anyways, I'm just rambling more about this stuff, and it always feels like it's going to be our last job. But I'm going to go to the next conversation. But it was so good getting to talk to you, and it was such a pleasure to have you on set. We were so lucky to have you.
Thank you for welcoming me in. And by the way, love the haircut.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I decided to go dark like you.
I love it. I know my hair needs a quarantine haircut. It's getting pretty long. I might just have to take this.
Film it. If you do, you gotta film it.
Okay, I'll probably be like,
yeah, crying. And then just before I go to your what's it called? You're kind of like baking with Emma, and like, are you posting those things on Instagram? Is there like a schedule of what you're doing?
Oh yeah, so it's called Eating with Emma. It's on my IGTV, and
Okay.
I just do one every week. So I haven't done this week's video, and I'm thinking it's gonna be chocolate chip cookies. So
I love chocolate chip cookies.
I know.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna tune in. So those are
Okay.
on your IGTV, correct?
Yes, and I post them to my feed, so you'll be able to see them if you like go search me up. Yeah.
Amazing. You're gonna make me eat chocolate chip cookies and gain a ton of weight.
You're welcome.
Thanks. You did amazing tonight. It was so good talking to you. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Thank you guys for welcoming me into the Shondaland family. I had such an amazing time, and I love you all, and I love you, so thank you.
Love you too. Have a great time in Texas. Stay safe and healthy and happy during quarantine, and I'll talk to you soon.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hi, everyone. Okay, that was Emma. I gave an introduction that time, unlike when I did with Kelly and Pete. I'm so sorry, Kelly and Pete, that I didn't do a proper introduction. That was Emma. We went off about acting, which is just so much fun to talk about. If you guys noticed, if I'm ever in a conversation talking about acting or directing or the craft in general, I get very, 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 very excited. I haven't been able to get to questions. What I'm going to do, because I know that this signs off in an hour, I'm going to bring on Ivana, the woman who plays Catherine, my mother. I'm going to bring her on next. But I'm going to sign this off so we don't lose the time. And then I'll bring her on because I don't want to have to rush the conversation with her, which would only have about like 9 minutes. So I'm just going to sign off real quick and sign right back on to talk to Ivana, and then hopefully get to some questions that you guys have. And then kind of gauge how you guys like doing more of this bringing on people situation, or if you guys like more of the like just straight up, I don't even know what I've done before, like one person the entire time. You know, last week and this week I've done multiple sessions, and then, you know, just testing out different things. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm going to stop rambling. Wait a second. If I sign off, do I lose all the questions? Oh no. Maddie, if I sign off, do I lose all the questions? I'm thinking, what if I ask questions first and then bring on Ivana next? Because I'll feel horrible if this is important. Thank you for saying this. Honestly, she's been an inspiration to me too. She's got a lot of issues, let's be honest. Maya's got some flaws, but I love playing her. She inspires me so much as well. So I'm really, I hear this a lot, and I'm so thankful to be able to play a character that really does make an impression on people. Maddie says that I won't lose the questions. So if that is true, I hope it is. I'm going to sign off and bring on Ivana. I can't speak. There's some great questions. I hope I don't lose any questions. There's some great questions. I'm going to sign off and sign right back on. Okay. Bye for a second. I hate, like, I'll be right back.